One. Hey guys, it's Frankie D. I have a great interview with Trace Foster. Trace Foster is from the band Close Enemies, and it's an all-star group, and he's the guitar player. Also, I found out by his publicist, he's also the guitar tech for AC/DC's Angus Young. I'm going to hear a lot about that too. So, Trace, what's up, brother? Welcome to the Real Radio Show, 24/7.
Cool, buddy. I just want you to know that I'm in Australia, so it's like 6:30 in the morning my time. So that's how much I love you, man. I'm up.
Appreciate it.
It's all good, man. I'm excited. But I do. Can I tell you a funny story right off the bat?
Please. Yeah, please do.
So I'm sure when they give you somebody, hey, you can interview this person. Of course, you do a little research just to make sure that you want to. So I just went and watched your couple of year things. And you were talking about something that brought back my childhood in a really funny, messed up way. And I just got to tell you, I don't remember what you called it, but you know that spinning barrel where they drop to the floor? You did a segment on that thing, and it brought back the funniest memory. I took a girl on the very first date to a carnival one time, and I begged her to go on this ride. I said, come on, this is going to be great. The floor is going to drop. You get sucked to the wall.
Yes.
And so I was like, okay, this is great. So for those, I guess we should background this if they haven't seen it yet. So it's a ride that you stand in. It's a round circle, like a tub or something.
Yeah, actually, Trace, what it was, we went on location, me and my co-host, RJ Daniels, and he went into the ride, which is Gravitron. It was called a Gravitron. He called it a Gravitron. He says, this is the ride that people puke and everything. And he goes, come on, we're gonna go inside. So he wanted to do an interview with the ride. Like he wanted to go behind the scenes. So people, because I never knew what was inside of a Gravitron because I don't like rides. You know what I'm saying?
Vomit. That's what's inside.
So that is how I partake. So I'm glad you enjoyed it, my friend.
No, it was great. So I met this girl, in high school, and I wanted to take her out. So I said, hey, I'm gonna take you to the carnival, and they had one of those. And I'm like, oh, we got to do this ride. You got to do this. She's like, oh, I don't know, I don't like things. Like, oh, it's gonna be great. So we get in this ride.
Oh my!
It starts moving, and the floor drops, and everybody to the right of me all vomit at one time.
Oh wow!
But around me doesn't touch me at all, and covers her completely.
Dude, that is horrible. That is horrible.
So the ride stops and she's just covered head to toe.
So, oh my gosh. So what happened? Was the date over after that, or what happened, man?
I think I made her take the bus home. I don't remember.
Oh, man.
I'm just kidding. That was just so fun. And I didn't have any on me, and I felt so bad,
Well, she could have shared some of it with you.
It was, and she may have puked at that point herself.
That is so horrible. All right.
I've never ridden that ride ever since, just so you know. And we didn't have a second date. I don't know why.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. We know how that went. Okay. I'm hearing Sounds of a Train. Sounds of a Train is the new CD/album that Close Enemies has out now. So tell me about the all-star cast that you have in this all-star band, which is great.
So actually, Sound of a Train, it was the first single we released. The new one is a song called More Than I Could Ever Need. So we've done 5 singles. The album is done. So I'll come back to about the band. You can do your editing thing. But so the project actually started, I got to go back like 5 years ago. And right when COVID started. And I've never actually said this before, but I woke up, went to bed one night perfectly fine, woke up the next day, and I'm like, man, something's really wrong with me. So I ended up going to the hospital, and they're like, you might not even live. You're really sick. And I was like, okay. I got the big C. I'm like, wow, that's crazy, right?
Right.
So my doctor was really funny. She's like, you're the first person that all you said to me was when I told you this is really serious. You just said, I don't have time for this right now. So,
I'm on tour. I can't play around with this.
That was what I said. I told her, I said, how long is this going to take? Because I've got things to do. So she just laughed. She said, I believe you're going to be fine. So I went through all, the chemo and the therapy and the radiation, the surgeries, all that stuff, man.
Wow, God bless you, brother. God bless you.
Oh yeah, and then 5 years later, I'm perfectly fine.
Awesome, man.
But the reason, and I've never shared that, because I'm pretty private in my private life.
Thank you,
but the more I think about it, the more I think it's important that people do know that I knew something was wrong, but
Right.
I didn't pursue it. So I really think that you should be your own doctor. And this is like my public, health service. But seriously, if you don't feel right, chances are you're not right. So, get it taken care of sooner than later because it's a pain in the butt if it's later. I can promise you that. Anyway, so for anybody that's ever had a health scare, this is where the band part comes in. Your whole outlook on life is a complete different outlook. Things that
Wow.
were important no longer mean anything. Things that didn't mean anything are all suddenly important, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I had realized, because I've done everything in my life. I've been a guitar player, I've been a keyboard player, bass player, I've toured, I've done all this stuff. I'm a writer, I'm a technician, I'm a producer, an engineer, all that stuff. So I've done everything. But I felt like I had one more musical thing that I wanted to do.
Hmm.
So as soon as I was like, my doctor's like, okay, you're doing great. You should be fine. I was like, okay. So I called my buddy, this guy, Gary Steer, my old songwriting partner from the mid 80s in Atlanta. And I said, look, I am going to write a record. And I'm not going to write it just for you and I. We're going to get serious people involved in this, and it's going to be amazing. I had no idea how amazing it was going to be. So Gary and I wrote that song, Sound of a Train. It's the very first thing we wrote. And I was like, this is amazing. I said, and we wrote a couple other ones. And I was like, let's see how good they really are. So I called up Peter Stroud, who
Oh
plays with
wow.
Sheryl Crow, Don Henley. And I was like,
Yeah,
he's
right.
friend.
Yeah, yeah.
My first phone call, I'm like, hey, I want to send you something, see what you think. And he was like, not only did he like it, he was like, I want in. I want to do this with you guys. This is
Oh
great.
wow.
This is
That
the thing
there you
I've been
go.
looking for. So we're like, okay, this is cool.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then we got a different bass player and a drummer at the time. And I remember that it didn't work out. The drummer didn't work out. It was Dax Nielsen from Cheap Trick, and he couldn't get enough time away from Cheap Trick to do this. So he's like,
Right.
guys,
Sure.
I don't have time. So Peter's like, man, Tony Brock and he said Tony Brock, and so he didn't even finish the word Brock. And I went, the Tony Brock. Tony Brock is one of the most amazing
Of
drummers.
course, he's a rock legend, man.
He's a rock star, that guy. And Peter's like, yeah, yeah, we've been looking for something to do. And I was like, wow. So
Trace,
he
doesn't he go back in the day? Wasn't he? I believe he was in the band The Babies.
correct.
Yeah,
I saw I
with
saw
John
him open
Waite. With John
with
Waite,
John Waite
the
and
early
Jonathan
John Waite.
Keane and Ricky Phillips, who went on to play with
Yeah,
Styx, all those guys. It's like the band full. You talk about a super group before they were a super
yeah,
group, those guys.
yeah.
And then Tony played with Rod Stewart for 12 years.
Right, right.
He
Yeah, yeah.
did. Tony's in the Guinness Book of World's Record for the largest concert ever in Rio
No
de
way.
Janeiro.
Wow,
3 million people on New Year's. Yeah, and like
that's
I forget what.
crazy.
That's insane, right? So I
Yeah,
mean, the guys. So just the thought of this guy possibly wanting to play with us was amazing. So before we could even go any farther, um, I was out with Aerosmith. I was working. I worked for Joe and I worked for Tom, and I was doing Aerosmith. And we were in Vegas at a residency, and I remember Peter calling me, and he was like, "Look, I just found out that Robert, the guy playing bass, can't do it. He's not able. He doesn't have the time." He said, "We need a bass player." And this is no lie. I can't stand it. And I'm looking over at Tom. He's got his bass on. He's ready to go on stage, and I'm like, I think I know our bass player. I go, the best bass player I know is right over there. Because just the thought of Tony and Tom playing together, I just
that's
wanted to see
insane.
that.
That's
I
that's
just
it.
wanted to see that.
That's
And this is a
insane.
true story. So Tom was like, "Well, send me some songs." I was like, "Okay." So I sent him a couple songs. The next day, he called me up. He's like, "When are we getting together?" And I was like, "Wow."
Wow.
So it started off as an illness, gave me hope. And then all of a sudden, and the first time we got together, and I read this with Jimmy Page had said the same thing once, and I didn't really understand it till it actually happened,
Yeah,
Frankie.
yeah.
Jimmy Page said the minute that band got in the room and they started playing the song Train Kept a Rolling, he said we all looked at each other and we went, wow, this is the band. This is amazing. And it was the same way with these guys. We all got in the band, I mean, the same room, and we started playing one of these songs that we had learned that we had already had. It was beyond words. We were all just like that big grin and Tom's grin and everyone's grin. And we're like, wow. And then we had a meeting. And we're like, look, if we're going to do this, I don't want it to be a project. I don't want to do a project. I want to
Yeah,
do a
yeah, yeah.
real this band. And everybody was like, oh, you don't even know. We've all got stuff to say. And everybody in that band is a songwriter.
Wow.
So
Yes, yes. Yes.
It's so great.
Trace, you think that so let's go down the crew now. We already threw a
Yep.
couple of sneak peeks out there who is in this all-star band. So let's go down the line.
Okay. So of course we have myself. I play guitar with Peter Stroud. Peter Stroud's other guitar player. Like I said, plays with Sheryl Crow and played with Don Henning. He's played with everybody. Peter's amazing. Great honor. I mean, I am just looking over at him every night. I always introduce him. I said the guy with 12 fingers because I swear he does things that a normal human with five
like a Jerry Garcia from Grateful Dead.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then of course there's Tony Brock on drums, Babies and Rod Stewart. And then of course there's Mr. Tom Hamilton from Aerosmith, need say no more from there.
Yep.
And our singer Chasen Hampton, who was the last one to join, was probably the jewel in the rough that we thought we would never find. We auditioned, Frankie, we auditioned so many singers. I mean, it just never seemed to work. There was always that little bit of something missing that we just didn't feel it was right.
Right.
And then this is true as well. And you can edit all this. I'm sorry if I'm just
no, dude. I'm gonna make a lot of clips on this. This is gonna be good stuff. Please go.
Okay, cool. Okay, so Chasen, an engineer friend of Tom's. We were trying everybody. We were asking the milkman, "Hey, do you know any singers?" We were dialing random numbers. Hey, are you a singer? It was like, so Tom called an engineer buddy of his in Boston and said, "Hey, we've been trying to find a singer for this project. Do you know anybody? It's a classic rock band. Do you know anybody?" And the guy was like, "There's a guy that comes in here and he teaches music to kids. He's an amazing singer. I think he might be good." Yeah. So
you recruited a teacher, didn't you? Music teacher.
Oh, well, listen, though, it's beyond that. So Tom says, send it to Trace. So he sent me this demo, and like a moron, I listened to 30 seconds of it. And it sounded like Justin Timberlake. And I was like, this guy is not our singer. It's not a classic rock singer.
No. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So it's like, I pushed it aside and we went on our merry way 6 more months. And then finally I'm sitting at my house and I'm like, we got to find a singer. This is ridiculous. So I grabbed that file again. I'm going to listen to it one more time. And I'm listening to it, and it's Justin Timberlake. And I remember my wife came in the room, and she said something, and I turned around. I was talking to her for a second, and I turned back around, and the song was still playing. And all of a sudden, there's this rock voice in the middle of this song. It was like all of a sudden, this rock guy stepped up and belted out this, and I went, "Whoa, who is that guy?" I go, "That's the guy we need for our singer." So
that's Justin Timberlake.
Yes, no. So I'm going, okay, who's the guy? And is it ethical to call this other guy who sounds like Justin Timberlake and go, "Look, you're really good, but we want that guy that was on your song"?
Wow.
So we sat on this for like a week, and I finally said, "I'm calling the guy because this is
awesome,
great."
man. That is
really
so I
good.
called him.
Yeah, and I'm going to ask him. I'm going to go, "Who's this guy?" And I do. I said, "Who's this other guy? I'm really sorry." And he's like, "It's all me." And I went,
"What?
It's all him. He does all that stuff.
All the harmonies."
All that stuff is all him. Here's his backstory. He was a Mouseketeer.
Yes, I seen that on the PR thing. Yes, I was like, this guy is a Mouseketeer,
and he's the reason that he's not like the biggest household name with all these kids. I mean, his talent is just off the charts.
He is a very good singer. I did some research on him a little bit, but I didn't know this was like actually the guy that sings different calibers there.
Everything. Ranges. I mean, him and I have started writing together, and Peter and we all just start writing together. And
this is great.
And he just puts things out, and I just go, I don't even know where that comes from. But he was like, the reason that I'm probably not the biggest household name, because he's got the talent, is because he wanted to be the rock guy. So he was in a band called The Party in the '80s, and they were like MTV darlings, and they
right. Gotcha. Okay.
Did their thing, and he was still underage, for gosh sake. That kid's been was a rock star at 14.
Yeah.
Cool. But so we had him sing "Sound of a Train." When you listen to "Sound of a Train," that is actually his demo.
That is the actual demo, because I seen that pop up. I love the cut that you guys did, Rain. Actually, we have it on the Real Radio Show. We have it on the Real Radio Show 24/7 on TuneIn Radio, in heavy rotation, because that was the song that stuck out like a sore thumb out of the other three that your publicist sent me.
That's the very first song that we all wrote together.
It was Rain. Am I correct?
Yep, it's a piece of every one of us in that song.
It was a very interesting collaboration because it did have a little bit of an Aerosmith. It did.
Yeah.
But it was so tight, man. And the vocals were great. It was such I really enjoyed that, that cut. So I reached out to your publicist. I said, listen, I want Rain. Send that to me. I want to get that on heavy rotation on the Real Radio Show 24/7 on TuneIn Radio. That is a great cut. That's staying there forever. That goes in my archive. It's staying on there, brother.
That's our opening song. Thank you, brother. That's our opening song live, and I think it always will be.
Love it. There's just love it.
That song is so powerful.
I got chills. I got chills on that. And the other songs are great. Don't get me wrong, but Rain, it's like I actually listened to. I'm going to be honest with you. I listened to it for 2 seconds when it first started. I end up rewinding it, hearing it again, and playing it. It's on my playlist, because it's really, I'm digging it. I'm just digging it. It taps into all the emotions. Rain. It's not a typical song, dude. It's not your typical classic rock song. It's not.
No. And that's I think what we have to offer is the fact that, I mean, I had just that little picky part over the vocal. That's what I brought in. I said, guys, I got this idea. I found
that was very cool. That was very cool.
Years, and I got a 12-string Rickenbacker. I'm playing this part, and at the end of the day, what you heard is what we recorded. We recorded it live that day.
That was awesome. Did it,
chasing and it was done.
I even love
the end part where it stops and it goes into something totally different.
Yes, I mean, I was just going to say that the bridge part where you come in, and I'm like, wait. Where are we going with this now? Now we're going in another direction, which was really cool, So to the listeners out there on the, if you listen to us on TuneIn Radio or the RealRadioShow.com, I am talking to Trace Foster. He is the guitar player of Close Enemies, the all-star group. And you got to hear this song, Rain. Do a Google search on Close Enemies. There's really good stuff. But I'm not letting you go yet, Trace, because there's so much stuff I want to talk to you about. We're gonna play a little game here, okay?
All right.
And I want to know how well you know your band members. Okay?
Very well.
You know them very well. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna ask you 3 questions. Okay, how you know your band members, all right?
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah, bring it, brother.
Okay. If each of your bandmates was a household appliance, who's the blender? Who's the microwave? And who is the vacuum cleaner and why?
Not counting myself, right?
The band. No, because
I'll leave myself out.
Yes.
Okay. I'll leave myself. So the blender would be Peter.
Okay.
Because Peter was really good at getting things blended together. I mean, he's good at grabbing this and grabbing that from everybody and putting it all together. That he's really good at that. What was the other one? The toaster? Did you say microwave?
Yeah. Okay. I'll repeat it again.
Microwave would be Chasen because he's really good at heating that stuff up, baby. Once he's got an idea, it just once I always tell people when I introduced the band every night, I said, look, we were just guys with some really good ideas until this cat joined the band. Then it became the band because his ideas and his talent. So he's the microwave man. He heats it up. And what's the last one?
Okay, so the microwave man. Okay, and the vacuum cleaner. Who's the vacuum cleaner?
The vacuum cleaner. I think Tony would be the vacuum cleaner. I'll leave Tom out of this. I think Tony would be the vacuum cleaner. I think Tony's the guy that. Well, matter of fact, Tony is the vacuum cleaner. Let me tell you why. Rain, perfect example. So that song's done. We're all happy. We're sitting in the room. We recorded it. We're high-fiving, and Tony goes, "I need a piano. I need a keyboard." And he went down, 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 down. He put that melody line not in there. The song's done. We're all thinking this is it.
Wow.
And all he did was his notes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's it. And it took it to a whole nother level. So always making sure that we think it's there's a mess, and he comes in and he goes, "No, I'll figure it out." So I think
okay. Awesome. Okay. We got 2 more. Okay.
Yep.
Here you go. Who in the band would survive the longest on a desert island, and who would accidentally eat all the coconuts on day 1?
Dear Lord, do you stay up at night thinking about these questions? Oh my God. Okay. So who would survive the longest and who would eat all the coconuts? That's your
Yes,
question?
yes, yes. I'll repeat it again. Who in the band would survive the longest on a desert island? Okay.
Oh,
And
okay.
and who would accidentally eat all the coconuts on day one?
Okay, I would definitely survive the longest because I'm that guy. A band I was in the way back in the days, they used to call me the rat because they said you always manage to find what you need no matter where we're at. So I would be that guy. So
Okay.
I would be fine. I would be fine. I think the coconuts. I'm going to say Tom. I think Tom. It is if he likes coconuts.
Oh man, throwing Tom underneath the bus.
Ah, he's going to be fine. Sorry, Tom. I love you, buddy.
Man, we're gonna send this directly to him. Okay, yeah. Last question. Last question. If you had to swap instruments for one concert, who's taking over your bass, and who's stuck on the tambourine, and who's immediately fired for singing from singing duties? I'll repeat again.
So, yeah.
If you had to swap instruments for one concert, all right.
Yep.
Who's taking over your bass? Who's stuck on the tambourine? And who is immediately fired from singing duties?
I would be fired from singing duties because I'm very limited to what I can do. I have a set amount I do and it works, but I would, if I had to step up and do the other person's, that's not going to happen. So I wouldn't even be able to play the tambourine. Jason would be on tambourine because I've heard him play guitar. So he'd have to be on tambourine.
Man, wow.
We're
sending this to close enemies. We're sending it to the whole band.
We'll put it on our website. So I would go to bass. Tom could go to guitar, and Peter could go to be the manager.
Oh. All right, so that was a little bit of getting to know your bandmates here. So I guess you know them pretty well. This is
I
great.
do.
Great stuff, man. Great stuff, Trace. All right, so tell the listeners and the viewers where they could get the album, the tour dates, and all that good stuff.
So the album, which we've been threatening to put this album out for over a year and a half now. Everything is done. It's turned into Virgin is the one that's we're on TLG Rock is our label, which is
right.
A footprint of Virgin, and so they're the ones that are putting it out. And it took us so long for us to get all the pieces together because here's the deal. We've got the best crew behind it now that we can get, and we were waiting for every piece to be in place because we're not. We are in a hurry because let's face it, we're not going to be around forever, but we're not under any time constraint by the label or anything. So we want to make sure that when this comes out, because it's a really good record.
That's awesome.
There's 10 songs. It's really good. And if it just gets, you've heard Rain. Think about a record that just going like it's so good. The very first time we ever played a note was in Nashville. And nobody's ever heard any of this material. We're like, look, we're going to play 9 songs. And we're going to just like play some Aerosmith and Babies at the end. And people are either going to go get popcorn and go home early or have fun. So Rain's the first song. And you know where
excellent.
And it goes to the change. Everybody started cheering right there. Because everyone, the first time you hear it, you think that's the end of the song.
Yeah.
It was pretty funny. So, and then when the song kicked back in, I remember looking at Tom and I'm like, I think we're okay. And everybody stayed, man. And just, we've had so many people. We've had all of our peers, all of our friends, we've had guys. Rick Nielsen at Cheap Trick just loves us. We're trying to get shows with those guys. And we've had everybody come see us. This band has never had a bad review. We're like waiting because our Yelp review, people are going to think it's made up because
that is
good band. Highly recommended. Hi. One more time. Sorry.
This is going on there. These bloopers are going on there.
Better.
I did the same thing to John Moyer.
Bloopers. This is all I got, man.
I did the same thing to John Moyer from Disturbed, and he's like, "Okay, you're gonna leave that on there, aren't you?" I said, "Absolutely." Absolutely. Yeah, I know. Real radio show. I get it. Okay, good.
All right, you're listening to.
All right, here we go. I'm gonna
I'm
feed you
not
the.
ready.
I'm gonna feed you your line. Okay, this is Trace Foster, and you're
Yeah.
listening to the Real
To
Radio Show 24/7 with Frankie D. The Real Radio Show 24/7 with Frankie D.
Here we go. Got it.
Okay, ready? 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, this is Trace Foster with the band Close Enemies, and you are listening to the Real Radio Station 24/7 with Frankie D.
Nice.